Hello everybody, today I will give you a little lesson on Newton's laws. But before we start, who was Isaac Newton and why is he important? Sir Isaac Newton was born on December 25th, 1642 in England and died on March 20th, 1727 in London. He was an English physicist and mathematician who was one of the most important figures from the scientific revolution. Among his most important discoveries is the composition of white light, and he incorporated the colors of light into science. His most famous and most recognized discoveries were the three laws of motion. They are known as the basis of physics and established the law of universal gravitation. He discovered calculus too. He was born the same year Galileo Galilei died. Coincidence? I don't think so. Newton's first law. It is also known as law of inertia. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, with the same speed and in the same directions, unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. The net force is zero. When the object is at rest, the acceleration is zero. The net force in both directions is zero. The first part of the law will only apply if, as mentioned in the law, the forces are balanced. If they're unbalanced, then this will change. Example. An example for the first law is a soccer ball. The ball is at rest since no force is acting upon it, and it will continue at rest forever until some force acts on it. Because it is at rest, the acceleration equals zero. The force that acts upon it is the leg that kicks it, and since the force is unbalanced because it is not coming from both sides but only from one, then it will stop being at rest. This means that the ball will move and the acceleration will increase. Newton's second law. This is the law of force and acceleration. This is the relation between forces, mass, and acceleration that come from empirical observation. Acceleration is directly proportional to the net force acting on it. Acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass of an object. Basically, the object's force is equal to the mass times the acceleration. As you can see, the formula is F equals m times a. F stands for force, m stands for mass, and a stands for acceleration. The example for this law is a car and a lawnmower. It will be harder to move the car since its mass is greater and the force you have to apply to it is a lot. This is because the force is equal to the mass times acceleration, and because the mass is a lot, then the force will be a high number. That means you have to apply more force. It will be easier to move the lawnmower since its mass is less. Then the force you apply to it is not that much. It is because the force is equal to the mass times acceleration and the mass is less, so your force will be less. Finally, Newton's third law, the law of action and reaction. It states that for every action force, there is a reaction force that is equal and opposite. Forces happen in pairs since they are the result of the interaction between two objects. Action and reaction forces happen on different objects. If a free body diagram shows both action and reaction forces, then it is wrong. They should only show the forces acting on the object. An example for this law of action and reaction is a gun and the recoil. The action force is put on the bullet so it is fired. The reaction force is the force of the recoil of the gun. The bullet is fired from the front, so the reaction or the opposite force will come towards the back and to you, which is the recoil. These are my sources, and thank you so much for listening.